Hi, and welcome to another video by Jim the Car Guy. Today we have a 2009 Toyota Corolla with a 1.8 liter engine, and this one we're going to be changing the valve cover gasket. So I'm going to bring you in there, I'm going to show you how to pull the cover off, and I'm going to show you why it's leaking oil into the spark plug area itself. So if you're pulling your plugs out of a valve cover and there's oil in there, your valve cover gasket and the spark plug tube seals need to be replaced. So, and then we're going to get started and we'll get this job out. From start to finish, this should take you maybe tops an hour. So, all right, let's get up there and let's get started. We're going to come in here. This cover actually comes right off. It just pulls right off and everything is under the bottom. So let's get set up. We'll get started. Okay, first thing we're going to do is just take this cover, you grab it, you just pull it, and it comes right off. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to unplug the coils right here, and the way you do that is you press in this little tab right here, and you pull the coils off, the coil plugs, or harness I should say. Okay. Unplug all of the electrical connectors on here. We grab a small screwdriver. I'm just going to open up these clips in the back right here so we can take our harness out. Okay, we're just going to take this and pull it to the back for now. We're going to disconnect this vacuum line right here. That's actually the vacuum to the power booster. We're just going to squeeze the clamp like this. I always push it back onto the hose because you're going to wind up losing it. If you take it off, it might go flying across the room. All right, we'll pull this hose off. And we just set this aside for now. We're just going to tuck it back out of the way, like that. And then we're going to remove this connector right here. Okay, so now we're totally unplugged. Now we're going to take off this these electrical connectors and just push them off to the side for now. Okay, let me show you what's leaking on this. Okay, that's the actual spark plugs themselves down inside here, and that leak is actually coming from right in here. That little seal right there, that seal goes bad, leaks oil, and oil winds up down inside the spark plug tubes itself. So, all right, let's continue. All right, and we just remove all of the electrical connectors. Like I said, we're only dealing with 1/4 inch, so we don't have to worry about snapping anything off pretty much. We're going to disconnect our grounds. We're going to take off this hose right here. You just squeeze the clamp, pull it back, and we can take it off. Just relocate that for now out of the way. We're going to remove our valve just to get it out of the way and off the valve cover. now. And our harness, we can just push back and out of the way, just like this. Right here for us a little bit. And then we can take out all of the valve cover holes. Okay, now once you have all of the bolts out, you just come underneath here with a very small pry bar and just pry up on it just like this. Now if you're trying to take this off and it doesn't come off, don't force it. You don't want to crack it. It's only aluminum. Just make sure you have all of your bolts out before you go any further with it. All right, well, once you have all the cover loose, then you can just rock it and you can pull it right off. Watch out, any of this crack don't fall down inside the engine because you don't want that in there. And these are the seals right in here that we're going to be changing. So, all right, let's take this over to the bench, clean it up. We'll put the new gasket back in, and then we're going to continue. Okay. Let's open up our kit, and we'll see what we have in here. Okay, this is everything that the kit comes with. It comes with the new gasket, which we're not going to confuse with the old one, so you want to get rid of it. It's the new gasket. These are the new seals for the spark plug tubes, which will go right in here. And we have all of the new seals right here for all of the bolts that came out. Okay. Now, the seals can only go in one way. You see how they came out like this? That's how they're going to go back in. So make sure you don't mix up your seals, and then we'll put the new ones back in. Let me get a new pair of gloves and we'll come back. Okay, once you get, now these seals were a pain in the rear end to put in. I had to use a seal driver to put them back in here. They were actually extremely tight going in. So just be careful you don't damage it putting it back in. And then we're going to take our gasket and we'll lay our gasket back in the way it fits into the groove here. Most of the time the gasket stays in by itself, but if it keeps on popping out for you, you can use some gasket adhesive to hold it in place. I think we'll be okay without it. All right, let's get back on the car and we'll put it back together. Just going to lay it in there, nice and easy over the spark plug tubes itself. Once you're in position, you can just push it down and you feel it slide right over the top. Now we're going to reinstall all of the bolts by hand. Okay, now once we have everything caught, we can just snug it down. then once you have everything snugged down, you can go back over it and tighten it up the rest of the way just to make sure everything is tight. Okay, now there is torque specs on this. I'm going to look it up, I'm going to torque these down, and then we'll come back and continue putting it back together. Okay, now that we're torqued down, we can actually start to reinstall everything that we previously took off here. Next thing we're going to do is put our coils back in where they belong. Now catch our screws in the coils. Now we have them all caught by hand, we can snug them down. Right, nice and tight. Now we're going to reconnect all of the electrical connectors that we previously took off. This one, as you remember, was in the back right there. And this snaps on. We'll reattach our coils. You listen for that little snap so you know it's locked in place. Reattach the wire in here. The last thing we have to do is reconnect our vacuum hose here for the power booster. That just goes on like this. Move our clamp back down. Right, now before you do anything, look it over and make sure that everything is back on where it came out. All of the harness has got to be plugged back in so we don't make any mistakes and have anything damaged. Everything's plugged back in. All right, now if we did our job correctly, we should be able to fire this up, and it should be fine. So, all right, let me change my gloves, and we'll fire this up. All right, last thing we're going to do is we're going to reinstall our cover back on, and the way that goes on, it just goes over the top like this, and you push it down. But I'm not going to do that yet. I want to let this warm up a little bit. Okay, so that's it. We're all set. Just make sure all of your connectors are connected back in where they belong, the harness connectors to hold the harness so it doesn't rub against anything. Make sure you slide your clamps back down onto the hoses that you had previously removed and put back in. Make sure everything snaps back together. And last but not least, I want to just say something about these seals here. Without the right driver, it is going to be a little bit difficult to do. Here at the shop, I have a tool that fits over the top of it. You can drive it in so you can get it flush with the cover where it's supposed to be. If you don't have that, you may be able to find the socket or whatever to fit over the top of it, but it's a cheap investment to get a seal driver kit and drive it in with the with the correct tool so you don't have any damage. All right, that's going to be the biggest part of the whole job for you, getting those seals back in there and the spark plug tube seals. But that's it. As always, thanks for watching. See you on the next one.